Hello, my Fam Jam family. I hope you're all enjoying the sun if you're in the UK or wherever you are in the world. Um, as you know, the children are away, and I'm sticking to my promise of doing a vlog about me, even though primarily it's the family. But I'm a single dad, enjoying it, loving it. But the week the children are away, I thought I'd just tell you a bit about me and any interesting stories that I may have to share with you guys. And I was talking to the guy. I mean, who we've got a team that's helping me with the Fam Jam family channel, and one of them said to me, why don't you talk about this famous story that you've got regarding the best moments that I ever had when I worked as security on a nightclub. Now, and I thought, you know what? Okay, I'll share that story because I think it's got a lot of positives, and hopefully it'll resonate with a lot of people. It has with me and everyone I've told it to, so I'm going to share it with you today. Okay, ordinarily one of the companies I've got is a security company. I think I've mentioned that before. Now with that means we supply security to all types of people, to celebrities, to nightclubs, to hotels, restaurants, etc. So, but I don't really get involved because I've got other businesses as well in the interview stage anymore. However, there are the odd occasions when I'm passing through, when there's a big batch of new people coming through, that I'll have a listen in, and that happened yesterday. And what actually happened was there was about 85, I think, new security personnel looking to be employed by us. And I popped in, saw the amount of people, thought, wow, that's a lot, great. Went upstairs and the management team came up and said, Lenny, a lot of these new recruits coming into the security world, because one of the things we do is we question them about, and we ask them what their interests are and what they think is their best attribute to bring to the world of security, which is keeping people safe in a hospitable manner, in my opinion. But a lot of them were talking about their martial arts and their boxing and this fight and that fight. And some of them were talking about stories of fighting on the door and how and it's not what we want. It's not what any of us in our company want, because we're not asking people to step into a boxing ring or to step into an octagon. We're not asking that. We're asking them to be professional, be polite, and their biggest weapon, if you want to use the word weapon, or their biggest de-escalating tool that they have is their communication, by far. If you can build a rapport with someone, they tend to sort of listen to anything you've got to say then. So that's what was, so I thought, okay, I'll come down and I'll share a story. And I introduced myself. And I said, and I basically started off with saying, the biggest sort of weapon that you've got, or the biggest tool you've got, is your communication skills by far, and to be nice to people and firm but fair if it needs to be firm but fair, but in essence really nice and hospitable, and become friends with as many people as you can, because that's what it's about. It's the hospitality industry, but obviously you've got to keep an eye on security, but that's undercover. Anyway, so this is the story, what I'm going to share with you. Now, for me, I've been involved in a lot of situations working security. I've seen people, in bad situations and unfortunately, and losses of life as well. However, my most compelling and the most compassionate story that I love to tell people is the one, I'm going to keep the names as a blank. I'm just going to say Mr. A, because I don't want to, obviously this is a public forum now. So once upon a time, it was about 10 years ago, maybe, 2010 it was. There was a particular event that was a very prestigious event in the city, in England, in the UK, in the city of Birmingham. Now, this particular event, it was a community, and the community were sort of every 6 or 7 weeks, that community would frequent this event. So they had a very strict policy on the event to keep it safe, secure, and for its members, if that makes sense. But there was a particular guy, I don't know what to call him. I'm going to call him Cyclops. It's probably a good name because he was 6'7", and this particular guy called Cyclops, I'd heard about him, and I'd heard how, most places or all places he went, he just had a free reign. He never got searched. He just walked in. He put quite a lot of fear. I don't know whether this is verified, but apparently he was in his country, which I won't say. He was a kickboxing champion, very big guy, 6'7", I think he was, very well built, very confident, very assertive. However, he came to this event that my security company ran. Again, I wasn't working as a security operative on the door itself to this particular event. But what happened was we had a doorman, a head of security, should I say, that worked the event. 6'2", 18 stone, young, ex-Marine. So, capable, competent, very well-spoken, educated young man who was leading that particular event. And what happened was this Mr. Cyclops came and, in short, picked him up, threw him through the doors because he got told he wasn't, permitted to come in, threw him through the doors and broke his arm. Which is terrible. That's someone's son. So the owners of this particular event, they had to call the police to get this guy out with police dogs. And one of the things that he said was he'd be back. Probably been watching too many Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, but that's what he said. So anyway, the owners asked if I could come and secure the door. They'd heard about me through reputation and doing it, and wanted me there. And obviously I couldn't refuse that. It's my security company. You've got to lead by example and lead from the front, which is what I did. So I came to this event, didn't know whether he was going to show up or not, because sometimes people say they'll be back and they don't come back. However, I said to the security team I was working with, and none of this was scripted. I said, this is exactly how it happened. I said, look, if this guy shows up, just do exactly what I tell you to do. And they says, well, can you preempt us? I said, I don't know what I'm going to say because I don't know how he's going to act, but whatever happens, just take my instructions. So, I don't know, an hour passed, something like that, 1 hour, 2 hours maybe. It was a long time ago. But the particular Cyclops, I think that's what we called him, pulled up. I think it was a 7 Series BMW at the time, and his name was on the front. So I knew it was this guy because he had a very unusual name. It wasn't Cyclops, I'm just using that for the reference of the video, but he had a very unusual name, which was on the front. And he pulled up 20 metres away from the entrance to the premises. His girlfriend got out the car. I'm assuming it was his girlfriend. And shut the door. And I said to the security team at that point, go inside and walk away. One of them looked at me sort of a bit, and I said, remember I said just do exactly what I say. So they all walked off the door, went back inside and left me on my own. His girlfriend walked past and said, you guys are in trouble now. But I just let her in, thought she can go in. I looked at the promoters and I said, just let her in. So because it wasn't her that needed to be spoken to. So the door closes with a big thud, and this giant of a man comes walking over. And the fun and games started. Again, it wasn't scripted. And this is the story I told the team to give them an understanding of how best to control situations and how you can. Now, I call it the art of fighting without fighting, which I think is brilliant because everybody is somebody's son or everybody is loved by somebody. And it's not nice when you have this attitude of striking or attacking. It's always nice to have a bit of empathy for everyone and try and kill them with kindness. But in this particular case, it was the art of fighting without fighting. So what happened was he's walked over, he's gone to walk past me. I'm leaning up in a very relaxed stance on the wall, leaning against a wall with one foot propped up. So I was very relaxed, I was non-threatening. And I called his name out and I said, excuse me. I said, you're such and such, aren't you? He looked down at me. I'm 6'1". He's 6'7". He said, yes. I said, right, okay. I can't believe, and this is what happened now. I'm going to say it exactly because I can remember it to this day because I'm so proud of it. I said, I can't believe what I heard that you did a couple of weeks ago, 6 weeks ago at the, I can see better now. at the at this event. I said, you picked up somebody that was, 18 stone, 6'2", ex-Royal Marine, very polite, and threw him through the doors because he explained to you, or tried to, that this event was for members. I said, you actually broke his arm. I said, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to do that. In fact, no, I can't. I said, you must be very strong to be able to do that. And I said, so, shout out to you for your strength feats. And then I said, so I complimented him, and then I said, however, that's why I'm here. And I just stopped talking then. So now I know in his mind, he would have, and again, it wasn't scripted, he would have probably digested or flashbacks to the doorman walking away from the door and just leaving me. Why did he do that? Then I'm giving him a compliment. I'm not raising my voice. I was speaking exactly how I am now and just being, very relaxed about it. But I finished with, but that's why I'm here. Now, don't forget, this is a guy that terrorised the city. And when I say the word terrorise, he sort of bullied his way into a lot of places, and just in the end, people just bowed down to him. So he wasn't used to somebody saying, that's why I'm here. But at the same time, giving him a compliment as well, which I know I could see from his body language and his eyes and the way he was trying to digest what was being said to him. And he looked at me and he smiled, and I thought, okay, he's making the decision now of what to do. And then he says, and when he said this, I knew it was finished. He said, what would you do if I came back with 10 men? So I looked at him, again, it wasn't scripted, and I said, 10 men? And I said, what would I do? And I was doing this, what would I do and I said to him, I bet they'd all be giants like you. I said, because I'm sure you've got 10 big. And he said, yeah. I said, 10 men plus you is 11. And then I went, right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'd get 10, but I'd get sort of slimmer guys, not so big, very athletic and fit. And 10 with your 10 and me, 11 aside. We could have a game of football. Completely threw him. Because what he was doing was he was basically trying to throw a threat out that he had people that could come. And I didn't rise to that. And I actually made a joke of it and a bit of comedy in a nice way. And that's when he looked at me again. He smiled and he walked off. He drove off, left his girlfriend. That particular person was never seen in the city again. It was bizarre. Nobody ever, when I say never seen in the nighttime economy. He never frequented anywhere again. He was just gone. And it was that point I called his girlfriend out and I said, when you came in, you sort of issued a threat to us, which wasn't very kind. And nobody had said anything to you. And in fact, it's your boyfriend that broke somebody's arm, somebody's son's arm. So I don't know why you came with that sort of mindset that we'd done something wrong. I said, however, he's sorry about that, folks. He's now gone, and he's been barred, and he won't be coming back. And because of your comments, it's probably best you don't come back either. And she looked absolutely gobsmacked. So now, when I told the staff this story, what I was trying to demonstrate is when you work in the nighttime economy or you're securing any sort of premises, nobody's asking you to come in. I'm not Frank Warren. I'm not someone that runs the UFC. We're not asking you to go into the octagon or to the boxing or to demonstrate that, because that isn't in the interest of public safety. What we're asking you to do is to be hospitable in the first instance and understand how to communicate to people. And if you really want to sort of put yourself at the upper tiers of security, then you should learn the art of fighting without fighting. I said, because, okay, you've got to be able to back it up. I'm sure there's going to be occasions when somebody's completely insane and it won't matter. However, if you are competent and you are confident in your ability, then learn the art of fighting without fighting. Because I think for me, when I told that story, it sort of squashed any of that macho, I'm tough sort of image thing, which to me is very sort of, it's not nice and pleasing to the eye. It's a vexation to the soul, if anything, to see that, because people don't want to see that. They want to see friendly people. Whether you're in the police, or any type of positions of authority, you've got to understand with that comes a level of responsibility with power. And it's nice to be able to treat people with respect and dignity and be hospitality. focused as opposed to thinking that it's all about brawn, which it's not. I thought I'd share that with you guys. That's a little bit about me. Me personally, I don't do that much security anymore. I've been a bodyguard to prime ministers like Imran Khan, as that community will know, to Justin Timberlake, to Lewis Hamilton. I could go on and on and on. But the security company, I let that run itself. Now, I don't really get involved because of my two miracles, Cruze and Moana. I have a week on with them and a week off, so I can't commit. But and also the various other businesses that I've got. However, I thought I'd share that story because I think it's quite a nice one, especially to anyone out there that wants to get into that field and have an understanding of how best to approach it. I mean, I could give you so many stories, but I'd rather give you that nice, for me, positive story of how you can do the job with the mindset of the arts of fighting without fighting. And that's something that Bruce Lee, because one of the martial arts I've studied for years is Jeet Kune Do, and Bruce Lee's philosophy was that. But anyway, folks, please do not forget to like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for the following we've got so far. It's absolutely amazing. My children are absolutely loving it. We've got loads of things planned. I can't wait to get them back. Wait for Halloween to come. That's going to be spectacular. And I believe Santa's coming to the house. We're going to try and catch Santa for Christmas, and hopefully we can vlog that and get him, finally catch him in the act. But anyway, folks, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or any advice, questions you like, from parenting to security, to anything else you want to ask, just ask. It's not a problem. And I will see you all next week with a vlog with the two little miracles of mine, Cruze and Moana. But bye for now and have a brilliant day. Bye all.